you've worked with a vast amount of athletes, female athletes who are a part of different divisions. Um, what has been your experience with athletes who, they have those aspirations to pursue, let's just say, upper end bikini, wellness, figure, physique? Do you feel like they're pretty risk accepting? Or is that a conversation that, you kind of have to broach? Like, I mean, what has been your experience in that regard?
Yeah, great question here. It's definitely changed over the years based off of my message changing, which is why I think I might have a unique approach to this. When I was really posting about like, oh, like hardcore, do whatever it takes to win, like the hungrier you are, the better you look, like suffer harder, then I was attracting a lot of women who at the time were like, dude, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to turn pro. I'll do anything to go to the Olympia. I'll do anything. And like, man, yeah, they would. And, we'd have conversations about it, albeit a little bit of lax conversations because at the time, yeah, I mean, I was 26 years old. Like, I was getting opportunities and I really wanted to capitalize on the opportunities. It's like, well, I turned my first WPD pro, I turned in when I was 25. And then I've really consistently been able to continue uh, getting people. And then my first male pros when I was 26. So I've been able to continually get a lot of people in that time frame to that destination. But early on, when you're 25, 26, it's like, well, shit, I got to prove myself. And like, let's do whatever the heck it takes to get this done. And back then, I would say it is very much so a whatever it takes. I don't care about the repercussions. Like, I don't care what comes after this. I just want to achieve this thing. As my messaging has changed about, hey, you know what? I actually think there's a better way to get this exact same goal accomplished. And I think we can do it and still have longevity in line. I think that we can prep and be pretty healthy as we prep. I firmly believe that for guy, for girl, for whoever. I really, really believe that. And I'm not trying to like sit here and trumpet this like risk mitigation of PED usage. Obviously, we talk about that a lot, but like, dude, if you're in a prep and you're using halotestin and trenbolone, then I don't think there's a lot of risk mitigation that's really being taken into account. Like, we're I think it's just it was a marketing tactic. It's a marketing tactic that people have used. But like, we can talk about it, and I believe that we should. Here's your risk mitigation: train so hard, recover so well, and eat micronutrient surplus, and watch how much further your PEDs go with less dosage. There's your risk mitigation that you're looking for. There's always like fancy ticks and tricks and whatever that like people are pushing and preaching about, like, use this to overcompensate for that and use that to overcompensate for this. Yeah, adding more drugs to the equation to overcompensate for the other things that drugs are doing is not risk mitigation. Now, the conversations I'm having nowadays are much more aligned with, hey, I want to compete, but every time I compete, I lose my cycle for 6 months. I'm an emotional wreck. I can't sleep. I have horrible PMS. I've had SIBO, I think, for a long time. I'm sick of feeling like X, Y, and Z. Is this possible? It's like, well, since you're talking to me, it is. So let's do this with as minimal, as small, as whatever as we possibly can, whether it be PED, whether it be output, whether it be whatever. And let's see how far we can go. And now it's a very internal focus drive that I'm doing. So every single one of my clients takes the TM Perfect Digestion Stack, every single one of them. And there's different elements to this, different levels based on what the client needs. But I teach about that pretty in depth in the mentorship. I did a podcast on it as well. So if we start and we have great digestion, then we're opening up the ability for our liver to better do a few things. Well, The liver does over 500 processes in the body. So really better digestion is going to allow it to do all 500 things better. But a few main things. One, produce more bile acid that we can use for even better digestion. Two, be able to better convert thyroid hormone, obviously T4 into active T3. It's very beneficial for us, extremely important. Three, better detoxify the crap out of our body. And I don't think we realize just how bad the crap in our body that needs to be detoxified, meaning byproducts of plastic breakdown, meaning environmental pollutants, maybe water pollutants that get inside of our body. These things are really bad for us. I mean, like really, really freaking bad. And they're causing high levels of oxidative stress. And when you put this into a female whose body is much less resilient than a male's body, to be honest, you pump a male's body with some testosterone, some amino acids, and maybe give him a little bit of progesterone if he's emotionally a bit on the edge. Man, he's pretty easy and good to go. A female's body is much more complex than that. So if we support digestion through the TM perfect digestion stack, and therefore we free up the liver to not be backlogged, to be able to best do its 500 functions, well, then a trickle down is we're going to have better thyroid health too, right? And thyroid health is just viewed in the dieting phases like fat loss and whatnot, or maybe how much food I can handle. But thyroid health to me means that our adrenals are calm and our energy turnover is actually supported by thyroid, not our adrenals, especially in females, because females metabolize catecholamines so much less efficiently than males do. So that's why I came up with that body temp pulse rate check to actually assess my client's metabolic health. So then we have thyroid healthy, we have liver healthy, we have gut healthy. I bet we have a much healthier brain too. I bet we're sleeping way better too. I bet we're much calmer throughout the day too. So the output that we do have and the PEDs that we do use are going to stretch way further because our body is more efficiently undergoing every single process within the trillions and trillions of cells inside of our body. So now a little bit goes a long ways, whereas before what they were experiencing was just like always pounding their head against the wall and not being able to make any progress. So I think taking the internal health, maybe functional health approach first, and then bodybuilding later has really led to much greater outcomes, much healthier people, a lot more problems solved as well.